All right, this is Motorcycle Mike. We're here with Lean Guys, and our special guest today is Yosh. Yosh is an old friend and colleague of mine. I know that he's a gadget guy. I know that he's a tech guy. I know that he is always on the cutting edge. When I went to buy a piece of stereo equipment, a sound bar for my television, I asked him. He's that kind of guy to go to. So my question to you, Yosh, very simple. What do you see coming in the near future that can accelerate or assist with innovation?
So I think one of the real big contributors is going to be AI and the ability to do more intelligent simulations. We have a lot of powerful simulation tools, but they're kind of old and clunky, and they can only look at things that the engineering analyst or the engineers can direct it to do. But AI as a self-learning tool can actually take that to the next level. I think that could lead to some interesting things. I heard a story the other day that an AI program was set off to optimize a circuit board design. And so I went off and did that, came back with a design where I think there was a capacitor sitting in the middle of the board somewhere, but it wasn't hooked up to anything else, no other components. And obviously the program is kind of screwed up. But then the electrical engineer thought about it and says, you know what, having that, I'm not sure if it's a capacitor or maybe something else, but having that component there in the middle of the board actually helps reduce the RF noise of the entire board, the EM interference. And so those are the kinds of things that AI can bring to the table. But these can result in incremental improvements. Optimization tools can do incremental improvements, but maybe these AI things can do like really step changes in the technology and in innovation. And so,
Yeah,
but
that's
sometimes
awesome.
just, yeah.
Thank you.
And then another part, sorry, Mike, revisiting some of the old regulatory requirements can help too, I think. There's a bunch of old stuff that's based on technology of the time. As we move forward, some of those old ways of meeting those requirements are no longer applicable anymore. So that's another place I would attack.
Yeah, fantastic. What I'd like to do is a little whip around. So let's start with Mission Assurance Mike.
Oh, thank you. Yeah. We talk, it's an age-old wish that you can have rapid cycles of learning in those early phases. Sometimes with the older technology, it's very expensive. In my day, we were doing stereolithography. It'd be a couple $1,000s for a prototype element. Nowadays, with the 3D printing, we've seen cases where they're seeing 2-3 cycles of learning a week on mechanical issues and elements. I think that's huge. And then to kind of lean on Yoshi's point, they have the same kind of capability for 3D printing of circuit boards. So if you want to test out a circuit, make sure it gives you the electrical performance. Instead of waiting until you've dumped all the money and time into it, you can have rapid cycles of learning on PWBs as well. So I think those are two real good, handy features moving forward.
Great, thank you. Staying on the Mike train, let's go to Mustang Mike.
Hey, how are you? So I guess I would look at how we're actually taking data and using data and building our processes really on the data. Data's been there for a long time. So how do we end up doing that? As an example, I'll use Cribmaster as an example, where they're able to now take sensors to identify when they need point of use, when they need to add material to the line, instead of routinely doing that. Hey, I got to do this every so many hours. That technology is out there. It's being used and it's being enhanced. So I think grabbing that data, making use of it would be a big help.
Absolutely, data is. So let's go to the caboose of the Lean Guys. Uncle D.
The caboose. Oh my God. That's all right. You know, in the wolf pack, who is in the rear, don't you? So
the hungry one?
No. I'm just shepherding everybody through. That's all. That's all.
The hungry one.
All right. So my innovation, I think, Mike, the the thing for me is going to be embracing Industry 4.0 and smart technologies that, like the ones Mike mentioned, Mike Mustang Mike. I think that there are a lot of things that people can do to not maybe have to fully automate, but from a lean perspective, you know, focus on Jidoka or automation, where you've got the best combination of people and machine. And then those things giving us data so that we can make decisions, to Mustang Mike's point. And I think that it's passe to go running around the warehouse looking for a part. Everything should be tagged. It should have a radar on it. We should be able to know where the antenna is and walk over and pick it up. It's just ridiculous. So I think there's so much opportunity with people to get started with Industry 4.0. Find a smart technology that gives you some data that helps you save some money. And to me, that's where innovation should go. And one of the upsides of the post-COVID scenario for manufacturers is that we have to continue to drive safe and social distance opportunities, and new innovation and automation and smart technologies does that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely agree. Agree with all you guys. I thank you guys very much for your input. The answer that I would have to the question, you know, what do I see coming in the near future to accelerate or assist with innovation is people. The people, the kids coming up today, and I'm starting to sound like an old person, but the kids coming up today are smarter. They're learning things in elementary school that I learned in high school or in college, and the things that I learned in college are completely changing because of you know, just evolution. So I think that we need to harness the power of education. We need to harness the power of creativity within the people. We need to maintain that that stuff. And you know, to Yoshi's point with AI, yeah, 100%. That who's going to program it? It's the people. Mission Assurance Mike. You know, who's going to think about you know, that they didn't do PCBs in 3D manufacturing to start with. They did parts, you know, they did wood parts or metal parts, and you know, then they went to metal sintering, and right. So it's people that are creating those new things. Right. Mustang Make, you can collect all the data in the world, but somebody has to analyze that data and make a decision. Right. So and you make bad decisions with bad data. So understanding what the good data is. So in Industry 4.0, well, people labeled that. They're looking forward to it going. You know, they've seen the future, right? And that's where we're going to, right? They've created the path. So I think people is still. It was important 100 years ago in the Industrial Revolution. It's going to be important 100 years from now.
Okay, so what role does training and upskilling have with regards to people knowing how to use the data? Because just because kids are savvy with tech doesn't mean they know how to make good decisions because of data.
I didn't say anything about good decisions. I made a lot of bad decisions. I continue to make bad decisions, but training is the key, right? Training is taking, so a good trainer in my mind is somebody that has a good balance of experience and textbook knowledge. And they're able to enlighten and help guide the people based on the wisdom, right? The wisdom that they have. And I think wisdom is a combination of experience and textbook knowledge. So
yeah, I mean, I agree. I don't mean to beat a dead horse, but I agree with the Lean Enterprise Institute in the sense that they say that there's two columns for Lean Enterprise transformation. One's people and the nurturing and development of those people, and the other one is process improvement. And then their argument is that the underlying assumptions of the people are the foundation. So what those people believe and what they think is the foundation of that. And so at any rate, Mike, I think you're right. Those people are going to be a key to innovation in the future. And I think there's more opportunity in manufacturing with reshoring from China than there'll ever be. And I'm really looking forward to the next decade in manufacturing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Yosh. Thank you, Lean guys. Appreciate your input, appreciate your insights, and appreciate your humor.
Peace.
Peace out.